it's Laura, your grateful recovering alcoholic and addict. What's going on, guys? I am so fired up. My fiance, he had to go out of town. Everybody keeps telling me not to say my location and shit. They think I'm gonna blow up, and then I can't be telling people where I'm at. Anyway, I'm alone. I'm gonna be alone all night. Lake Charles, I guess, if you can find me. Anyway, he had to go take an OSHA 10 test. So I thought, I got that, see that on the wall? They had black mold on here, and so my fiance threw the picture outside. True story. And they never brought one back, but we're about to move out of here. Anyway, he has to go take an OSHA 10 test, and I have something right here I keep seeing. And I thought I could just get on here and make a video because tomorrow is my 2 years of sobriety. Now, the first round that I went through, I think I had 16, 18 months. And though I said I was sober, I used to, like on holiday, I think, I had one glass of champagne, so I guess I never really was sober. I mean, in my eyes, I was sober. I guess it was a dry drunk. But I relapsed. One drink doesn't do anything for me. It's when I go for more. Anyway, point of this video is I haven't had one sip of alcohol. Not one sip. Really, today should be my day. But New Hope likes to, getting a headache, likes to, not likes, but they do, I don't know if they like it, but when you go in there, the next day that you're in is the day of your sobriety. So so the reason why I'm making this video, I have all this breakage right here. It drives me crazy. I'm so sorry. I'm fidgety. I'm an old speed freak. And when I say old, I mean old. I didn't get sober until I was 50 years old. And tomorrow I have 2 years of sobriety. I am a grateful, recovering alcoholic and addict that is spreading my experience, strength, and hope to anybody that might want to hear it. If you don't like it, you can change the channel. I am so grateful today. I went to work. I got my job. And I locked my keys in my car. I was leaving. I had all day orientation yesterday. Test all day. You'd think I was freaking vice president or something. Test all day today. So, anyway, long story short, I went out. I locked my keys in my car. Thank God I have AAA. Fiance is not even around. I don't know. I'm glad I have AAA. But anyway, so I would have flipped the fuck out normally because I called them. Well, it's hot as hell out there, and I normally would have been pissed off like a motherfucker. And I hadn't eaten all day, and I called them, but they didn't call me back, and I was getting hot. So I was like, shit, I'm just going to go in. I need to get my uniform anyway, because today was jean day. So I got to wear jeans, and I got to wear this shirt. Penn Entertainment. That's what I work for. And anyway, walked in, and it's quite a bit of a walk because I had to park kind of far out because I went in at 10 today. And if you don't get there early, of course, you're going to have to walk. There's a lot of employees at Lake Charles. Anyway, they didn't call me back, so I went in looking for some water. Sissy Lynn, that was me. And I was looking for some water because I was dying of thirst. Of course, there's no cups. There was a water dispenser thing, but no cups. Again, I would have freaked out. Well, I went back in the restroom. Stop, Sissy. I went back in the restroom, called them. And first I had to call them and get my policy number. Well, they wouldn't do anything until I had the policy numbers. Then I had to call the policy people and blah, 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 blah. So I was very patient through all of this because I'm almost 2 years sober and I don't have speed in me. I don't have a hangover. I have a clear mind and I am happy, joyous, and free. That's why I come on here. I have no makeup on. I did put a little eyeliner on earlier, but I don't wear makeup anymore. It's amazing. And you know, I've had people tell me all my life, oh, you look good without makeup on. Well, now I'm starting to believe them because I don't wear it anymore. And I'm like, fuck it. But so anyway, I finally got a hold of them and they were like, well, they haven't called you back? And I was like, no. And so so she said, well, somebody is supposed to call you back. So once again, be patient. I have no patience. It's a character defect. Anyway, she said, they're going to call you back. So I sat there and for a second and then I got a call. And so I called them, but it was a message where it said reply to say stop. But it didn't say they were on their way. It just said they got it. So I had to call them. It was a shit show. Anyway, he was there way less than 50 minutes. I got my car open. Good deal. Okay. Everything's fine. Then I go to Arby's to get chicken salad. Of course, they have no chicken salad. Again, I would have flipped the fuck out. So, I swear, I talk in my other videos about being light as a feather. It's like nothing bothers me anymore. I mean, I don't even know who I am these days. It's just too bizarre to finally wake up into the eyes of sobriety. So I wanted to take you back because 2 years ago, I walked into New Hope Women's Center again. I was happy to be back. I drove myself. I had got, the first time I went to rehab, I told you guys I had a Uber guy drop me off. I had like comforter and this and that. I was so fucked up when they dropped me off. I don't even remember, like, when I was getting out of rehab, I couldn't remember where I have a stuffed animal that my kids made me, and you squeeze it. Somebody ended up stealing it after the fact, but actually that's the second one. The first one got stolen because I left it over at somebody's house when I was in active addiction, and somebody stole it, and they probably didn't even know that it had my son's voice on it. Anyway, I didn't even know where that was or what I did with my comforter or anything. Well, I got out and he had said, oh, I put it in your car. That's what you told me to do. I guess did I have a car? Okay, wait a minute. I did have a car. I did. I don't know why I didn't think maybe he put it in my daughter's car. That's what it was. He put it in my daughter's car. I called him and told him to put it in my daughter's car. So anyway, that was the first time. Okay. And so the second time, I got me a little convertible. I didn't have a car. I'm all confused. I didn't have a car because the first time I went in was in 2018. And this guy named Billy gave me a ride. And yeah, I did have a car. Anyway, I ended up losing that car, or it broke down. I can't remember shit. I've been an addict all my life, so I have a short-term memory. Not short-term memory, but long-term. Plus, I like to block a lot of shit out. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, second time around, 2 years ago. First time I got dropped off, I had no money. Second time, I had a car. I just bought a convertible car, super cute. All the girls wanted me to take them. Please take me for a ride. Nobody drives themselves to rehab. Well, I did. And as a matter of fact, when I was leaving there, I had two flat tires. I think somebody flattened my tires. They didn't want me to leave. I'm not even kidding. I'm still not convinced that somebody didn't pop my tires, but it's okay. Once again, I had triple A. But when I went in there 2 years ago, because I was sober the whole time except when I relapsed that one day, except I did have one drink of champagne, like on an Easter. I remember one time, just one. But I guess I really wasn't sober if I just had, I don't know. I feel like I was, but because I was working, I was doing good. I was just hanging out with people, places, and things. So when I relapsed, I called the addict that I relapsed with, told me not to tell anybody. I was like, fuck, am I supposed to, do I gotta reset my I Am Sober app that's coming up on 2 years tomorrow? Because god dang, I am not resetting that. And I even put a slot in there, because you have to say work. I told y'all before I put a slot for sex, but I added one for no sugar, no carbs, exercising. So, but I am not resetting that clock. I thought about doing a reset one, and just doing no sugar, no carbs, because that's how important it is, and it's so hard. But I am pretty good on it, 95%. I just finally lost 2 more pounds. So, I'm going to have a facelift before all this shit. I'm serious. My fiance gets so mad. Anyway, back to the story. So, when I went in there, it was right when COVID was hitting. Got all this unemployment back. But I went in, I had money when I went in. I ended up, one of the girls that was closest and dear to me, I bought her a big book, one of the leather ones. And I was selling COVID-19 shirts. COVID-19 sucks and fuck COVID-19. That's how I was making a living. Once I lost my job at Amazon, because I was working at Amazon when COVID hit. And it was right when my best friend died in May of 2020. Okay, because my year sobriety is 9/1/20. So I was in there. They let me call in my unemployment. When I got out of there, I had all kinds of money. But I had given all the girls COVID-19 shirts. I don't remember how many was in there. 10, because I wasn't planning on relapsing. That's the point of this fucking thing. There was no part of me that was like, I'm going to relapse today. That's not what happened. What happened was I let my guard down. I thought that I could keep going over to people, places, and things. I thought I could. I thought I was strong enough. I thought I could go over there and be fine. And so then when I relapsed, it was for one day. Of course, it took me 2-3 days to come down. And my mind, oh my God, my mind. Okay, so I did 1 shot of whiskey, and then it led me to 1 hit on the pipe. Then I thought the pipe didn't hit me. I'd already just thrown out everything that I had worked for and asked for a line. Next thing you know, I was spinning out of control for probably 12 hours. Couldn't get up out of my chair. It was just horrible. Horrible. Then I couldn't get enough alcohol in me to come down. Look, I'm getting all fidgety now. Because, yeah, I wanted to come down, but it was not working, okay? And that looks great, too. It wasn't working. I was so, they say once you get a mind full of AA and you get a belly full of beer, you're really fucked up. Because I'd already knew that and I talked about this before in one of my videos, I already knew I didn't want to live that kind of life. It was almost like I was trying to see if I could do it one more. I even talked about it with people, places, and things, and said, I wonder if I could do it again. It's already fantasizing and talking out loud. I said that about something in a video. When you say something out loud, at least for me, like I called myself a loser or something the other day out loud in the car when I saw a liquor store driving, and I said, God, it said spirits, fine beers, and this and that, because there's a liquor store on every corner in Louisiana. And I was like, God, what a loser. You were an addict until you were 50. I said that out loud to myself. So that's one of my character defects that I have to work on. It's not bad-mouthing myself, because I did that all my life. Because I was bullied and they were bad-mouthing me. So I might as well do it too, because everybody else is. You know what I'm saying? Oh my God. So, long story short, is I called my son high as a kite, told him I relapsed. I called a friend of mine in California, told her I relapsed, and what should I do? I got off the phone. I called her back and said, do you think I should go back to New Hope Women's Center, where it changed my life? But I was happy to go back because I want to be, I love sisterhood. I love sisterhood. I never had a sister. I love sitting down at the table 3 times a day. I love that. I never had that. And then when I got married, my fucking narcissist husband would not sit down, but when he sat down, it was like we were bothering him to sit down. He only sat down and ate when he wanted to eat. You see what I'm saying? That's truth. And anyway, I love New Hope. So I drove myself back up there. First, I asked a friend in California, and she said yes. And so I said, okay, well, I'm going to call them. And if they have a bed, I'm going back. My kids, nobody could, they didn't, my friends, I was like, I relapsed. I fucking relapsed, and I couldn't get it out of my system. Took a couple of Xanax to come down, slept for 12 hours, still woke up high off that shit. It was so fucking strong, because I guess I hadn't done any in so long. Anyway, I called them, and they said, yeah, we have a bed. They said, welcome home. They have to check to see if you can come back. And, they have little index cards, things like that to see. Because I'd been here, but I was a repeat offender. Never got a sponsor in the first get-go. Now I have a sponsor. It's been slow because I'm only on step 6 because I was in Austin. I was working all the time. I know it's not a very good excuse because I could have been doing it in Austin. And I know that. And then the whole time that I wasn't doing anything in Austin, I was thinking about what I wanted to do with this YouTube, because I know the struggle maybe I didn't look like I was struggling. Maybe I had the, nice clothes or I didn't even have nails though in addiction. I did a lot of things I did. I'm a lot more, I was bougie before. And then when I got in my addiction, I started lowering my standards, things like that. And, but then once you start noticing, well, shit, I'm really lowering my standards because I wasn't raised that way. Then you really, that's when I started questioning, okay, who am I hanging out with? What am I doing? Why am I doing this? Because I'm not having fun. So that's why I was happy to go back to New Hope. Because I hadn't done it right the first time. So now I'm working the steps. I got this page on Facebook that's up to 850 members that I never thought about the Facebook group. I just knew I wanted to do some YouTube. But the Facebook group is rapidly growing and they've got me locked out again. And that's because there's so many women that don't have anywhere to go to express their feelings and not be judged and to be told they're beautiful right where they are. You know what I'm saying? They don't. But I didn't. I discovered Drew Hicks, who I look up to. I know he screwed around on his wife and all that, but we all make mistakes. You can't. I don't think he stuck a needle in his arm, like he used to. But anyway, so I started the page. So 2 years ago, I walked in. And remember the time before, the first time I was drinking beer in the car, took some pills. They found Xanax in my purse. And ate a rock of meth. And you know what? They didn't even know I was fucked up, half of them. Because I asked them the next day, could y'all tell I was fucked up? That's because I've learned to mask the way that I look because I saw people at such an early stage of my drug use crawling around the carpet, picking their face, whatever. So I learned, although I'm fidgety as hell now, but I learned the signs and not to do that. Number one, I had kids that, didn't know the extent of it. One of these days I'm going to do a video with them if they'll agree. They know right where I'm at. Or they watch these videos, I'm sure. I know they do. My son will send me a message through YouTube, and he's very supportive. But so I know I keep going all over the place, but it's so overwhelming to think. So 2 years ago today, because once you call New Hope, you have 24 hours to get there. So I knew what to bring this time, and I got to drive myself. I drove myself. I parked my car out there, and I admitted that my life was unmanageable because I can't handle drugs and alcohol anymore. And you know why? Because I had so many times where I would do the drugs and the alcohol, and I started, as soon as I did it, I would say, why did I do that? I don't like the way I feel. I mean, I outgrew it. God, hopefully, was 50 fucking years old. The shit had ran its course. It had finally ran its course. Thank God. I would not be here today talking to you guys about me being sober and being saved by God, if I wouldn't have walked back into New Hope. I have friends there that I had girls there that knew me before, and then I had girls that were coming in that I knew before that were coming in under me that had relapsed. So it was a full fucking circle, okay? And I am so honored to be where I am today. I took the suggestions. I got me a sponsor. Now, I did have a sponsor, but I moved to Austin, so we had only got to step 4 because I was dragging ass. And you remember, the first time I did the steps, now everybody on my resentment page, I threw away. I don't even care. Half of them are dead. How am I going to resent somebody that's dead? I'm like, damn. So I have learned a whole lot in 2 years, but I'm just starting. I'm just beginning. I haven't even done all my steps yet. So I am so happy that 2 years ago today, I was at New Hope. I had money, remember? I had money. I had the privilege of, having one of the residents go out, and we bought queso and food and everything. I felt like I was high on the hog because I was sober all that other time, and I was living on life's terms. I was. I'm going to say I was, but I was hanging out with people, places, and things. And I don't know if God would want me to go around where there was drugs. I mean, am I supposed to be smart enough? Because I'm the one that ultimately asked for it. I think it was a test. I think it was a test from God, and I failed miserably. And so I went back to New Hope 2 years ago today, and I would be sitting on that couch at 5 o'clock or 8 o'clock going, I'm back. I'm back. I had to tell them what the fuck I did with people, places, and things and all that, because some of them had already knew about that. And I had to swallow my pride, and I had to get humble, and, here comes the humility. But since then, since that 2 years, I stayed 3 weeks, and I left because a girl came into the house that had just killed her baby, and I could feel it. This is a true story. What was her name? Somebody needs to tell me. Anyway, the day I left, she stopped and bought a shirt for me, a COVID shirt. I sold them for $20. Well, I gave them out to everyone. I wasn't going to give her one because I could feel. She said that she came in there and she was on marijuana. She told us about the baby. She's in prison for 20 years. I can't fucking remember her name. But they ended up, I left New Hope. They ended up coming in there and getting the police, SWAT team, all kinds of shit. Serenity, her name wasn't Serenity. Something like that. Anyway, I could feel that she did that because, number one, I'm old. And nobody goes to rehab, I don't think. I could be wrong, I'm not a doctor, for marijuana. I could see straight through her. I didn't know at first, but then she started talking about it because she wanted to talk about it. But her stories didn't add up. They had me sleeping next to her. Not that I thought she was going to hurt me. I just couldn't deal with the evilness that I could feel. So I bounced. I was there 3 weeks. First time I was there 2 weeks. I have not had one sip of alcohol or any mind-altering controlled substances. I don't smoke cigarettes anymore. Kind of quit those when I was in there. Well, I was still smoking when I was in there only because everybody smokes. And they'd be like, "You want to grab a cigarette?" I'm like, "We just did." And so I kind of quit that. Thank God, because I see people outside of this hotel and they're out there smoking, and I'm like, "Oh God, what a waste of time." You know what I mean? But if you smoke, that's fine. You know, I just want people to stay off drugs and alcohol. Yeah, so I bounced out of there, and I was selling my COVID-19 shirts. COVID-19 shirts and COVID-19. I sold a lot of COVID shirts. So I am just really, really happy that there's a place in Texas. This place is in Texas that women can go, because I didn't know anything about it. And I called a friend, and they let me come back, and they treat you like family right when you walk in the door. So shout out to that place, and I say it every time. If I win the lottery, you guys will get refurbished. Not that you need it, because you're perfect the way you are. This video is dedicated to New Hope Women's Center. It's also dedicated to all the girls that I've met at New Hope Women's Center, and my family, first and foremost, and the number one is God. Also my fiance, who puts up with me, who lets me be who I want to be, and supports me. He gets a little jealous sometimes. It's a lot, because I got this page, this 850 members. I have to, moderate, comment, put shit out there, look for shit, all that. And, I'm just getting started with that. It's a blessing. I do everything also is dedicated to Carrie Markwart. We carry on in her memory every day. And I want you guys to know that if I can stay clean and sober, so can you. Because I was a full-on, full-fledged addict for many, many years. Many, 35 years, even more than that. And now I can go to Motley Crue concerts front row, sober. I don't have hangovers. I posted yesterday, call me 007, 0 alcohol, 0 hangovers, 7 days a week. Bye.